Hello and welcome back to another session of serde-yaml. It's Byron speaking. Well, I'm quite good by now to kind of steal my own time and try to do everything else but to actually implement the serializer. But well, I'm stealing my time by reading the YAML document even further just to get a better understanding of what I'm getting into. And while doing that, actually I'm, the fear and anxiety creeps into my bones because I have the feeling this is going to be tough. The good thing is that we can always look at existing implementations and see how they do it. Eventually we will do this for deserialization, I'm sure. But for serialization, yeah, I think this is, as I said, it's supposed to be quite simple. It's just a bit of logic there. And we have to start somewhere, right? I think part of my fear is because I'm not in Greenland. I have some sort of infrastructure already to adhere to. And all that kind of leads to me being a bit, I don't know, afraid. Even though it's not supposed to be a problem to get this stuff right. Just because, yeah, it's easy, right? And I think I'd like to have, I'd like to start with unit test like thingies. So SIR here, the SIR tests are more like integration tests, and lots of stuff is failing in there, lots of output is produced, and it's a big file already. And I think it makes no sense to look at this before you looked at like the small parts. So let's do some unit tests. I'd like to have some SIR unit rs. Yeah. On Linux or Unix, you can actually type the name that you want and will then keep it. This doesn't really work on OS X, not so most of the time for some reason, but I still do it because I'm so used to that. Yeah, well, that's how it is. So here's SIR unit. Let's bring in allow non-camel case. What else do we want? You want serd. Do we want serd? Do we need serd? Do we actually need serd? I don't think so, huh? Oh yeah, we need serd because of the data, I think. Serd data needs serd. Sure. Do we need serd data? Not right now. Do we need structs? No, I don't think so. I think I might embed the structs where they are. Good. So that's pretty much all we need. The YAML thing. Boom. Good, let's have a test. Let's test the document stuff. So and the styles for scalars maybe, because right now we can't do any of this, and I think we should learn how to do that. YAML. The YAML stream basically starts here. The document, where is it? The document indicator style. This is kind of our way to define how documents will look like, and also if there is a YAML directive and so on. And I would be happy already to get a basic YAML document going that might even have nothing in there, but is still a valid document. So I think, I can always use this here. So if I have something like, like YAML 1.2, and then that. Oh look. So if there's nothing, it hates the world. Oh. Okay, now it has it. So that's null, right? So how can I serialize a null? Do we even have that? An optional none, huh? That would be it. Yeah. This is what I want to serialize here. So let's try that. Let's try a document start. Document indicator start. And to do that, we need YAML presentation details Yeah, I think we start off with JSON. Let mut PD. Let's call it opts. It's kind of the options anyway, huh? Presentation details. Well, YAML. I could use default, but YAML will do just fine. Then I can say opts document indicator style be YAML sir document indicator style. Oh look, I messed that up. Document indicator style. Now, and say start. Yeah, let's just say start with nothing in there. That should be fine. And now, and that's the cool thing, now I can say, well, make test is not needed here. Cargo test is sir unit. So now it should run this stuff. Oh yeah, that's also part of sir. And I think considering I need them so often, use YAML sir presentation details. So what's the problem here? Expected and optional. Oh, true, the document indicator style is optional as well. So like this. And now I should compile. It does, and it even works. Awesome. And yeah, we might even we could try to manipulate Travis to, for now, only test our own one here. So this is okay. But cargo test sir unit, for now, only this one is supposed to work. And yeah, I think this is a good approach, because for now I would either have to skip unit testing all the time, or I just say, well, let's start ahead, let's start fresh, and go in there step by step and make that work first. So, document indicator style. So now I would like to serialize a YAML to string with options, a null. First timer, assert equal. So YAML to string with options. Yeah, it just needs the options, I think. With options. And, oh yeah, also the data. So let's give it a none, but that would be bad because it wouldn't have a type. So let's have a none of a float or something. Let's value be an optional U32. Who cares really? Which is none. And now we can pass in this none value, which should be a null or nothing. We are in YAML mode here, so nulls are plain in that mode. Obviously, we can't even do that yet, but yeah, and that's a good. I think it's a good starting point. Let's see what comes out of there. I have no idea. And we want to compare to, yeah, for now, let's not even compare. Let's just print it. So this is have. Because I have no idea what's going to come out of here. But yeah, that's pretty much, that would be the starting point. So let's start with a document indicator style. So all we should have is basically dash, dash, dash. I think this is something I could expect here. Oh yeah, and considering I believe I can expect that, maybe, yeah, I can copy this because I don't think we will change that line at all. So serde equal. That, and what should come out of there? Dash, dash, dash? Right, huh? Just a dash, 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 and this is not even required. So that is a valid YAML document. Welcome. At least the existing implementation says so, and if they say so, I think I'm good as well. True. Not to forget, unwrap. It can fail after all. Nope. Also true. And this is why you might not want to own these. Yeah, for the most part, I think owning it, I'm kind of an owner kind of guy. I like to own stuff. I mean, in programming languages at least. In Rust, because nowhere else there's such a notion. So we'll just do it like this for now. We could, of course, work with a mutable. But for some reason, I want to get around using lifetimes. So, have null. Actually, it's even possible to read it here. So, it produces a null, which is kind of expected. And now, all we have to do is have a look at how this works. So where do we start? So the formatter right now, I think the formatter has the presentation details. Standard formatter, yeah. So that guy has the presentation details, and it's the JSON implementation. And I wanted, yeah, let's see where first is used. It's used to signify if you should print the comma when we are walking through a sequence. Okay, that's not important to me. Visit bool, isize, what do we have? Visit, sum and none. So visit none shall be a null then. Unit, enum unit. I know what that is. Visit unit. Unit is unit. The unit value, which in this case is just null. So the formatter owns the options. And I think, yeah, so what do we have here? The formatter, I think the formatter is intended to be dealing with white space mostly. So I think the only thing it currently would want to do is say, well, either it deals with indentation and white space and so on. Cullen. Yeah, it's primarily a white space thing. But in a way, I would... Yeah, the thing is... I would need a lot of more control here. So wait a moment. Let's just say what's happening here. The formatter is supposed to do like the indicators, for instance, and the white space, and whatever is not a value. This is what the formatter does. Yeah. It deals with serialization of, or it controls how all non-scalars are serialized, which includes indicators, white space, and white space, for example. Okay, this is what the formatter does. Let's define it like that. But the presentation details, that we kind of need them. We totally need them in the serializer as well. So what does the serializer do? It serializes scalar, or it serializes all value types. Destined to serialize value types. Yeah. The cool thing is that this is this recursively implemented? I think this is recursively implemented, yeah. So that could always be a problem, more so for deserialization than for serialization, but even there it could be a problem. But hey, that's nothing we can influence here, and nothing I want to think of actually. But yeah, this guy, it needs access to options. That's the only thing I know, because it needs to know how to produce these scalars. And I think it's user friendly or nice to have just one of these structures, and all it needs to be doing is to access the structure. So let's just adjust the trait here for the first time. Trait, where are you? Trait formatter. So I want options. Fn details. Let's call it options. Just needs a self and returns. Yeah, I'm wondering if I need lifetimes here as well. Probably I do need them. Presentation. No. Presentation details. Like this. Yeah, we'll see. Can you figure this out? Probably not, huh? Cargo build. Sure, I should be missing not all traits implemented. Missing options, that's fine. Impl formatter. Let's do the options. Fn options, self, presentation details. And then we have self ops here that we shall return. So let's see if that works. Could possibly work. Yeah, it does. Nice. So now we can do that. Let's look back at the let's have a look at two things. First, how do I get these guys? I need to know when I start a new document. Right now, this one here always starts a new document. And there are two. I think there are two problems to this with multi-document implementations right now, because we would want to have a serialize implementation, or would want to have an iterable of serializers, right? But right now, serialize is not object safe, so it's not possible to have such an iterable. So the only way to have multi-document values is if we have a YAML value that contains all the information we need, because we can't abstract the type away. We have that doesn't work. And right now we don't even have a YAML value that we could use here, similar to the JSON value. Not yet. But that's how it is. How do I wanna deal with that? Do we have multi-document? Yeah, we have a test for this. Good, so we will not forget about it. Good, let's keep it with that. Okay, ToWriter, where's ToWriter? Here it is. Serializer new. With options, okay. And then it gets this, and then the serialize is called on the value. No, wait a moment. No, wait, this is a generic parameter. This is why you can actually get a value that supports serialize. Yeah. If you wouldn't have this type T, you would get this T is not object safe error, or serialize is not object safe. Anyway, yeah, so this is not our call. Basically, in the moment we are instantiated, we could know that we possibly start a new document, even though that is kind of handled. Yeah. So the serializer itself, yeah, we have to see. Right now, we can only deal with single document mode. That's all I can say. So yeah, we could say the first time we are called, we could do something, or in the moment we are instantiated, we could create the document and the everything we need to have in the header. And right now I would actually have the tendency to put it right here. So the standard formatter with standard options is what we get by default anyway, but we don't care. New with formatter. And yeah, so new with formatter is actually the function that has it under control. That's the only one. That's my serializer here. And here we would now have to deal with header stuff. So I could even call it self, right? Shouldn't be any special here. Yeah, I could match on self. Let's see how that works. I'm always afraid that it wants to move values out of there if I just match on this. But we will just try it out, right? So in theory, match options, documentation indicator, document indicator style. That's an optional. And what if we have some document indicator style start? What happens then? All right. So let's see if that compiles. I'm a bit afraid that. Oh yeah, and this could also be something. This is whether or not we have a bomb. Yeah. So this is, I think, something that could possibly work, even though I am afraid that it wants to move this. Let's try it like this, shall we? Oh, so self is special. Oh no, wait. So still self is special. You could call it this, but that is weird. Me. Let's call it me. Expected identifier found. Yeah, true. So yeah, I want to destructure it, right? So for enums, this is totally fine. And I'm dumb. So that actually nearly works. Method from take can only be called if the trait is implemented and in scope. What? Oh. No, wait. It's not me options. It's me formatter options. Cool. So that works. Yeah. So whatever the bomb is, we don't care. This is an optional. and I will unpack it in a separate step. I guess match bomb if it's some byte order mark. Per stream. Yeah, here we actually don't care if it's some anything, right? Then it's all right for us. And considering we don't do anything with the data, we could also just say if it's some. If bomb is some, we don't care about the actual type of it. As we support single document only to do st review this once multi-document modes are possible. So that could be something. And actually, we want the same for start end, huh? Yeah. So let's do this. It'll be simple enough to add another branch here. Start end. Same thing. Should work just similarly. Good. And now we are even exhaustive, and I could say, well, yeah, let's make sure we are exhaustive here. Because if something changes, we wanna know. So I don't like catch all. I'm not using catch all if I don't have to. So that should be exhaustive and it should work. Expected item after doc comment. Ooh. How do I do that? Why did I do that? Good. That's nice. And now, well, the bomb, huh? The bomb depends on the encoding that we want. And I think all we have to do is to have a function on the bomb that encoding byte order. Wait a moment. I think I do it all wrong. That's part of the encoding, and what I classify as bomb here is actually the YAML version directive. Yeah, see? So YAML version. So the cool thing is, if this is some, we can already do something. And yeah, it also gets interesting now because this write all stuff we can't really do. Because we must potentially support different encodings. So let's call it encode and pass it a character string, because I would like to work in Unicode here. That way I think I will have less trouble. So for the deserializer, we'll have to check how this will work. But for the serializer, well, on the other hand, the stuff we generate, I mean, basically the encoding, no. How does it work? If I want to encode something in UTF-16, everything I do will have 2 bytes. In UTF-32, same thing, we'll have 4 bytes. So if I pass in a byte string like this will end up having multiples of bytes basically. And yeah, I don't know how this encoding even works. For UTF-8, it's simple. And I think that's the point, huh? What's the unit? Because if I work in characters, I can just say, well, I know that Rust strings are UTF-8 encoded, are they? Rust input is interpreted as a sequence of Unicode code points encoded in UTF-8. So non-UTF-8 byte sequences and strings. So strings are valid UTF-8, and UTF-8 is the default for YAML. So I think I want to use this interface and say, well, I work with strings here and I encode strings only. So my first encoding that I support is UTF-8, and as I'm guaranteed to have valid UTF-8 in my strings in Rust, I basically can just dump the bytes for this first kind of encoding. And this is what I'm going to do. So let's have a function here that we will from now on use. We don't directly use the writer anymore, but instead a serializer. So instead we use this. Oh no, wait, that's the trait implementation. This is basically what we can use here to add our own stuff. Can we? It's always a bit confusing. Yeah, that's a general version. This is the one I want to use to add my stuff that is always there. So what do you think of fn encode? Oh yeah. It's mud because I will use the mutable writer. The writer is what? Supports IO write. It's interesting. I'm still wondering if this works also for own stuff. Can I own this writer? Potentially? I think I can. Just naturally, huh? I'm unsure about this because I know I have used borrow mut, the borrow mut trait to kind of work around ownership stuff. So I'm allowed to pass in mutable borrows as well as own this thing, but apparently it is not even required. Yeah, I don't know. I could try it. I will try it. Nonetheless, this encode thing here will have the same return value as my writer. And the writer has a result. And encodings never fail, that's also the thing. But it might fail with a write error. So what's a possible write? Oh, look, I have it open already. It's an IO result use size. And that's what I return here. There we go, we have it already. And now I'll just match my options. Match self, formatter, options. Gee. Yeah, it's a long path to there, but well, what can I say? What can I do? Formatter, options, encoding. And yeah, I think I want to have, let's get rid of this and a few things at least. This is supposed to be gone, this is gone. No. Source sir. Yeah, I want to have this open as well, just to have a better understanding of my types here. Anim encoding. So what if is the this is encoding UTF-8, and then we have the bomb. Huh. Oh, damn it. So the bomb I actually only need once, right? The bomb I want to unpack here. And can the byte order mark do anything? Per stream, per document. Huh. I don't like my thing so much anymore. But on the other hand, that's kind of how it works. Yeah, so this is something we don't care about here. We really don't want that. So whatever. But if this is the case, then we say self writer write all. Oh yeah, and what do we want to write? Chars shall be a string slice. Chars as bytes. So that's a great thing. UTF-8 is that simple. And we are exhaustive. And that should be just fine. Right? And the encoding we have to unpack here as well. So the bad thing is that in order to get the encoding right, we have to unpack it for each possible kind of encoding. So at some point this is like 4 possible kinds, right? UTF-8, 16, 32. Well, 3 possible kinds. I think that's okay. I also guess I want to have these options here. Let ops be this. Match ops encoding. Then we have encoding UTF-8. And the byte order mark. And now it gets interesting. Oh yeah. Actually the other cases I can just add them here in an OR and then always have this bomb referenced so that I can now output the bomb accordingly. And I think I want to have a toString function, which is also part of a trait that I can implement. toStr, right? OSString path. Or asString as str. Is this part of a trait? No, huh? I thought it was part of a trait. Or asref. Yeah, asref str. This is how this works. Oh man. So yeah, this is something I could implement for the byte order mark because that would allow me to there we go. This would allow me to implement this accordingly for each of the different versions. Oh no, wait. This would only work if the encoding could output its own byte order mark. Why not? Actually, why not? Yeah, let's do this. Because then I don't have to unpack it here. Then I can do it just here. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's implement. Let's kick this out. Do we still compile? I think we do, huh? We did last time. Oh. What is it with me? And 364. Oh, this is why. I started out already. So impl as ref str for encoding. Fn as ref. We have a self, and we return an str. I wonder if I can be implicit here or if I have to be explicit. Usually I'm explicit and do it like that because that definitely works. Yeah, but I think it's okay to be explicit here, right? So as ref this. Let's see how this is implemented or how this looks like. The T. Huh. Yeah, I think there's no way for me to be implicit here. Nope. So we want to match ourselves here. So wait a moment. We only want to match some ref, huh? So only if this is a byte order mark. And we never care about the actual value. Because this per document, per stream, per document thing is something that is only relevant to, well, to other people, basically. But anyway, that's our match case here, and we want to return a string that is representing the byte order mark accordingly. So I guess we could just encode this here. Does it? I don't know if that even works, but yeah, let's see how that can be done. So the byte order marks are listed here somewhere. Bomb. Here we go. So for UDF-8, if you want to be implicit, nothing has to be done. If you want to be explicit, you do it like this. And I'm not sure how this works in Rust. I rarely do it. Strings, string literals, Unicode escapes, byte escapes. So that's how that works. I think a byte escape I could use here, could I? Yeah, that's a byte escape. Okay. I wonder how this works in a string. Maybe it doesn't even work as a... Oh no, you know what? I think I want to return this as U8 because I want to return byte strings here. Yeah, that's important. And I need to output them directly to the writer. That's also something that's important. But type infirms should do the job for us. So in theory, yeah, so if we have something here, some bomb, we do it like that. If we get out of there, and you know the default case should probably be, should there be a default case? Yeah, I would have to handle everything. If it's yeah, let's just handle this then. So if it's none, then it's just an empty string. That's how much I can say. And this is also already exhaustive, I think. And if it's some, now we can start doing the byte order markings here. So it's \x. And then I will just copy this. Yeah, I think capitalization is a good thing here. then it's BB and BF. So that's my bomb. Yeah, I think that's it. Boom. By default, this is nothing. The thing is that even, so in the case of 16, even if it's nothing, well, wait a second. If it's nothing, then we just encode, right? So it's part of the encoding here. And that's interesting. Ah, it's the other way around. Now I get it. So little endian is first the character and then 000, and big endian is basically the character at the end. Now I get that. Cool. So yeah, the point is that there is no such thing. There is no encoding, but it's okay, right? We do it already. Yeah, so we always return empty strings for no encoding, and I want to remain exhaustive, so I do it like that. Yeah, so that's that. Cool, that should be our byte order mark. And because this thing deals with everything, we can just write it down, write it out. So self, so let's see if that even compiles. 46 minutes in already. Has an incoming type for trade. Expected slice found str. What? Oh yeah, true. Oh. Write all returns unit? Well, I had the documentation open at some point. Write all. True, returns unit, whereas this one doesn't return unit. What is write all again? Why do I need attempts to write an entire buffer into this write? Huh. This method will continue to call write while there is more data to write. This method will not return until the entire buffer has been successfully written or an error occurs. The first error generated from this method will be returned. Why? So it doesn't need usize because it either writes everything or nothing, and we know the size of the buffer. Fine. Good. Then I do that. Here you go, unit. And now it should possibly work. Sir62. What? Oh man, that's sad that it can't figure out that. Yeah. I mean, that's weird. Is this not a bug? I think this is a bug. Because in fact, opts will die before me. Oh man. That's a bloody bug. Ops lifetime is smaller than me, so there's nothing moving anywhere. This is totally safe. But the borrow checker can't do it. Oh man. Annoying. Well, here you go. Right now I don't even use ops. I use it soon. So that works, very nice. And now we can basically just dump the bomb no matter what, because this implementation to the byte order mark string or if there is no bomb. So that's how we do it here. So one encode call just at the beginning of the entire operation. That shall be fine. So me, writer, write all. So here we bypass this. Opts encoding as ref. This should produce what we expect. And yeah, we have to try that, right? Oh, damn it. If I write here, I have no way of returning. Yeah, that we can't do that because we have no error return. We have to panic here. I don't want to panic. And this is kind of dirty as well. So what this wants to gently tell us is that we need a private method that says begin document or something. Begin document. And that returns a respective result. So toString, what kind of result do they have? Yeah. So this IO result thing, yeah, they all return IO result. I might do the same for now, because I don't know if the serializer will possibly fail doing things. Yeah. Oh. No. Begin document, IO result. Good. So the begin document is exactly what we want. Kick this out. We will just return the serializer. And now we don't have this problem anymore. Begin document. We'll just work with self. I actually don't like so much that I need a modifiable me all the time, just because I need the writer at some point. But hey, that's how it is. If I'm afraid, I could even change this and use non-mutable versions of myself. So opts at least is not mutable. That's something. So that's self writer something. Is there another use of me? No. Good. So in theory, this already does something for us. Begin document we should call, I guess. And then we can start using the encoding function, because only the byte order mark is encoding independent, kind of carries the encoding along with it. And you might even consider implementing the encoding right away if it's not too difficult to do. Like UTF-16, how does that work? You know, I don't know. We'll find out. I think I want to research this. I want to try it, because if it's done, it's nice and self-contained here in our encode method. But that's how it is. Yeah, that's good. Let's go ahead and try to let's try and call begin document actually to writer. Oh, look, that's a duplicate. What if we would call to writer with options? That would be something I would prefer here. So writer, then T, and the options, presentation, details, default, right? So that's kind of the default invocation that we have here. Like this. Yeah. Could even go with default, which is exactly what this does, right? Fn with options. Oops. Yeah, default. Yeah, I think that is that. Good. Because now I can say, well, we have the serializer. We are in single document mode here, that's for sure. So we say sir begin document and sir end document. We didn't implement that yet, but that's something we need. And we try that because this could return something, this could produce an error after all. So that's the code. Right? Right. And yeah, we return some unit, right? I think it's more like this. Oh no, okay unit, sorry. More like this. So we just should be sure we are exhaustive here, but it will tell us if we are not anyway. So that is that. YAML version is some. Yeah, that's still to be implemented. Now we need end document. Not self. IO result unit. And well, here it's really about the end document style, right? So we have start end. The YAML version we do not care about. Match self formatter options. So we have that guy, except we don't care here. Then we produce, then we give it, then we put in the end encoding. Which also means that here we have to do something to make this compile, I think. And oh, not to forget document indicator style. And if this is none, we also just return an OK here, like this. So this is not exhaustive right now. So I could as well say, well, we only care for this particular case where it's start end. And thus we hope that there's nothing else that we have to deal with. So let's do it like this. And for now, I'll just put this here so that there is something that it can return. So yeah, that could compile possibly. Oh yeah. 774 value. Cool, that did compile. So is this complete? Yeah, so we only call the two writer stuff then. La la la, la la la, this is complete. Yeah, looks like it. Here we go. So now, encode. The encoding we have already implemented here. So if the YAML version is some, we just dump the YAML version, right? So we say self encode. And it's going to be YAML 1.2. This is the YAML version. After the byte order mark, effectively writes bomb. Okay. Yeah, right now the YAML version, we could even give it a version or something, or an asref implementation to get the actual string out of there. But do I want that? Yeah, I kind of I kind of like the idea. I do like the idea. It's more object-oriented. YAML version directive, sure, it needs to have an sref. Oh, sorry. It definitely needs to have an sref. Everything else would be wrong. So all we want to do is unpack this. Yeah, I could even use the and then path, but I don't want to kind of. Yeah, let's consider it. Where's my option here? Is there an option around? No. No option around when you need one. Here we go with and then returns none if the option is none, otherwise calls f with the wrap value. With the wrap value so t is the option's unwrap value with the wrap value, yeah, but this consumes the thing. So we could do as ref we could do. See, it's actually not easier. As ref, and then there's something we could, let's try that. So for now, YAML version, it's just a ref thing anyway. So it's a ref option, so we need to say as ref, and then and now we can say, yeah, this is a reft version directive, and we can then basically just say self encode version as ref. This is what we can do. This should expand to exactly what we need it to be, provided we implement as ref here. So impl as ref string for YAML version directive fn as ref, immutable self borrowed, self returns a string, and that's already it. That's our slice here. There's the version. So in theory, that does already work. Well, not too bad. Expected an option, found a result. Where? Oh. True, I'm throwing away my result value that way. Damn it. No can do. This is why we can't do it. Sad. Well, match YAML version. If we have some version, we do that. If we have none, the result value, and that's also the result value then. And we try on it. Yeah, we try the entire thing. Right? Right. Like this. Why does it not show me what I want to see? Huh. Oh, because it's wrong. Now it shows me what I want to see. Awesome. 1 hour in already. One of these long thingies again. Not intended. But I will terminate this as soon as possible. This session. I kind of lost track of time, to be honest. But yeah. And we are still, look where we are. We are still at the very simple, first humble beginnings of this. But I think architecturally, we are good. So we try to write this. We try to write this. We always want to return if there's an error, right? Not to forget that. Yeah. That's how we have to do it. Try. Not the fastest thing in the world that's going to be because of all the error checking, but you know, it's at least safe, I guess. And yeah, that's that. Maybe like this. Does it look good? Kind of. Looks okay. Yeah, and otherwise return value will just be the okay. Oh no, wait. So this returns the error or gives you the unwrapped value, which is unit in this case. This means if this is okay, we wrap this in an okay. Like that. So that's the desired return value now. Yeah, that's that. Because it's the last statement. Oh no, right now it's the last statement, but it will not be the last statement after all. So it isn't okay, we just discard the value. Yeah. And the stuff must match as well, otherwise I wouldn't really care about what this guy returns. Oh. And yeah, it might complain that we want to move something. There might be many complaints here, but let's try it anyway. Huh. So in 67, mismatched types. What? Oh, here it starts. Some version expected, found. So yeah, we didn't pay attention to the fact that this is a ref. So how do I say that? Do I say it like, oh yeah, true, this is how I say that. I have to deref it because it's a version. And now there's just one thing left, right? And that's also a bit bad if we... Yeah, so this is what I thought it would be. This try unpacks the unit here and returns it. And this is the last statement as well. So if we just add a new statement here, we should be as fine as we are here because we just discard the return value, which is unit. Good. And the next statement, we have to put some start tokens here. So all there is to be done. Oh, what about new lines? So the line break stuff now comes into play because right now we just print out everything into a stream without having any new lines. Which is a problem. Yeah, so let's do it anyway. Let's say self encode. We have to try that again. And that's also the return value is this. So self encode, and now we go just with a string like that. Huh? Yeah, this is missing. Oh. Self-formatter is also borrowed as mutable. Really? Where's self-formatter? Oh. That's where self-formatter is borrowed as immutable. Ugh. Can I move out of borrowed content? Yeah, well. But I think it's the version here, huh? Yeah, so that was kind of clear. Okay, it's getting better. So it's now only this formatter related issue. It's a bit sad that now, thanks to try, it's a bit more, all the error messages are more convoluted than they have been before. But you need to use try. Well, so I can use the writer, but I can't use my own encode. And I will have this pattern a lot to get the options directly. I guess I will have this pattern a lot. Can I fix this somehow? No, I can't. Unless I have a function that does it. And I pass the writer to the function. Yeah, this is something I could do. But then I have to pass it the encoding as well. Opts encoding all the time. Huh. I could do it. But then every encode, then every encode call will be kind of cumbersome. Okay, so why not? Then we make these calls here. Fine. I think that's where the optimizer comes into play. Boom. There you go. Ops is not there anymore. Oops. Ops is so not there anymore, so you should be fine now. Will you be? Nearly. Oh, look. Because it's also borrowed as mutable. Oh, here it's borrowed as mutable. No! Terrible. That's terrible. I didn't expect that to happen. But you're right. And it's only for the encode, because this is strictly read-only, that's fine. But that guy here is not read-only. Okay, then I can undo this. And I guess I have to move this encode thing into a function. That takes what it needs to take, which is a writer. Do they use IO right here? Yeah, they do. Yeah, we could even call it like this. And let's do that. W, yeah, let's do it like that. To have a chance to get rid of the of dynamic dispatch, that's the least we can do here. Writer is that, where W is that. Like this. And then we need the encoding options. The characters to write and the encoding. That's the thing. Encoding is an encoding. Chars is that, returns an item or result. Voila. So that would be that now, huh? Is it? And then we have the writer, write all. Chars is bytes. Voila. Ops encoding, self writer. Writer encoding chars. So that's how a call would look like now for us in order to make this work. Well, oh, and I guess I have to pass this as reference as well. Yeah, so what do you say now? Like it? Mismatch types, expected, oh yeah. Self-writer. I thought this works automatically as this already is a MUT. Cool, so that does indeed work, haha. At least we can build it now, so the testing should still fail. We are 1 hour, 15 minutes in. That's a bit long. And yeah, let's see if we can get this to work. Probably not, because of the line break stuff that we have to think of in general. Right now there is no such thing as line break. Oh, ser unit we want to do. Yeah, so that's not too bad. It's really just the null that is not being handled correctly, and yeah. Lots of stuff that is not handled correctly right now, but it shall be. But we shall do that in the next session. I will not. Yeah, I think I should commit this just because lots of stuff happened here. So feed ser. It's kind of two things: unit tests, ser unit tests, and well, document handling. It's the first attempt to get the infrastructure required to deal with documents. Start and byte order marks, and last but not least, the encoding. UTF-8 for now. Like that. The respective test still fails, primarily due to a missing concept on how to handle line breaks. So right now I don't even know what kind of line break character I'm supposed to use. I will read it up on in the spec just to see what we can do here, and I think Travis can run this time just to show me that it attempts to do the right thing. It will fail on my tests, but that's okay for now. Yeah, I might not even push this anyway. So that is this one. Thanks for watching and have a good day.